It's Mark Husson's Astrology Hour. Time for you to expect something wonderful.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. It's Mark Husson. This is Mark Husson's Astrology Hour coming to you live September 22nd, 2025. Happy autumnal equinox. I love saying that, autumnal equinox. It happens at about 11:19 today in the afternoon Pacific time, in the morning Pacific, and then you all do the math down. So it hasn't happened yet, but it's at about 2 hours. It's an all-day Libra moon. I'm coming to you live. I'm coming into the chat room to see you guys. I hope you're doing well. Let's take a look. I'm coming into the chat and I see Paula Liberty. Hi, Paula. Thanks for being here. Terry Campbell, big hugs to you. Thank you for being here. Lenny's in the house. Hi, Lenny. She's wishing us a happy fall equinox. Taking you on her walk, taking us with her. Thanks, Lenny. I appreciate that. Jennifer Hart. Oh my gosh, she's coming from over across the pond from Cromwell. It's her birthday. Happy birthday, Jennifer. We're going to look at your chart. Well, we won't look at your chart, but we'll look at the chart in general, and we'll give you some tips and tricks. If you know your moon, put it in the room. Okay, good. Happy birthday. Thanks for being here, Jennifer. Erica, I love your show. I love you. We've been together for a long time, Erica. Do you believe that? I can't believe it. It's like we're getting on 20 years knowing you. She came to my house, but that wasn't 20 years ago. She came when I got it. We took a walk together. So I know how Erica walks and is way faster than me. Hi, Erica. Thanks for being here. Terry, happy birthday, Jennifer. She's shouting out to you, Jennifer. Good morning, everyone. So happy to be participating. Thank you, truly. That's so sweet. Esther's in the house. I love your video moments and you live. Esther, you made it in the room. I'm so glad. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're always so kind and tender. All of you are. You blow my mind. Pamela, thanks for being here. Happy equinox. Maureen, good morning. Loving the taste of fall this weekend. Back home to New Jersey. Brought a loaf of pumpkin spice sourdough bread. Isn't that amazing? I love it. Is okay, yeah, we'll talk weather here in a minute. Shelly, thank you for coming. Happy autumn. Renee, happy autumn to you as well. Arlene, good morning. Thanks for the link to the other advisors on YouTube. Yeah, we got to remember. Oh, you're so sweet to mention that in the Power Peak. Yes, we'll keep doing that. I got so much more to do. I'm getting organized though. Lori Williams is in the house. Thank you, Lori. We did make it to fall. Hello from autumnal London. Anastasia, thanks for being here. And thank you. Karen E. Karen just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Karen E. Laura, thanks for being here. Renee, oh my gosh, look at you guys. Gypsy Skies, Donna, my moon in Sag helps with optimism. It does. Let me tell you. Okay, let's take a breath. Let's bring it in. So a couple things, you guys. I'm having fun with this membership thing. It's underneath any video. It says join. I think it's like $2.99 a month. And I know that's a lot for some, and it's okay. If you manage that, what I'm doing is I'm using it as a chance. It's crazy, but I'm using it as a chance to have a more personal relationship with you. I do a morning video sometimes, most of the time. It's not every day, but I'll do a morning video, tell you what's going on behind the scenes, tell you what's happening in my life. We'll put up charts. We're going to do live streams just for members. I'm going to pack it with stuff so much so that I think you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I want this, and I want you to want that, because I'm excited YouTube's giving me that chance. I made a special website just for discounts of people that do subscribe, so nearly half off all reports. I'm working on that daily, so things will change as we go. So if you're moved, I don't care if you do or not, honest to God, nothing's going to change out here. I love you guys, and I'm just excited about the membership thing. I don't even get to see a list. It's just sort of like, if you're there, you're there. If you're not, you're not. YouTube makes it completely safe for you to do it, leave, whatever. You can see what it's like, but would love to have you join and be a part of the clan. And eventually we'll do our own private newsletter, and we're going to build a community, which I love. And I'm a Cancer, so I want that, right? So let's take a look too, you guys. And let's see. And this eclipse has made me live through so many memories. Yeah, I bet. Liz, thank you. Wow, the UK is here. You guys, thank you. I'm honored. I promise not to do my British accent, just in honor of you. Carolyn Ferris is in the house. Oh, thank you for the special chat. Anne and Esther, thank you so much. You guys are just adorably lovely, and I thank you. Just subscribe. And thank you. That's so sweet. Fran, oh, this is exciting. Love this idea of membership. I promise we'll make it doable and special, because I finally get a way to feel like I belong to this group. And, you know, I'm neurotic about making sure that you feel that it's what we're doing is worth it. And I have so much to say that it's going to be plenty for me to connect in. I have a place to do it. That's what makes me feel good. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. Don't ever feel pressure, though. Please, dear God, don't ever feel pressure. My worst thing was when I walk into a store that's a small store and the owner is there and it's like me and the owner. And that's how people felt about my store. So I would always go back in the kitchen and let people have their privacy after I said hi. Just like, go do your thing. It's not personal. It took me a while to get there, though. So, all right, we just had a big eclipse. I know you all felt it. It's a very special eclipse. It's special because it's in Virgo. And if you had a birthday, hint, hint, during this time period, it's locking in this energy for you. That is one of the most extraordinary energies, Jennifer, that we could have in a chart. And oh my gosh, I got to ground myself because I have so much I want to explode and say, but I want to show you a visual if I can. Now, I didn't test my cameras yet. I'm going to make sure that, I think this is, let me see, big monitor. I think this is the one. See if I made it work. Yes, he did. Thank you, Fran. Look at that, how cute. I forgot that was even set up. You're so sweet. So you guys, look at this chart. This is the eclipse. This was the sun and the moon together at 29, okay? Down here, we talked about this in my on my daily moments, a minute, Mark Husson's astrology moment, my daily little blurbs. But I didn't get the chance to really bring it home. Look at this. I want you to try to understand something, and I wish I had the visual to help. But if you're at 29 Virgo, you're seconds away from 0 Libra. And so, and 0 Libra is the opposite of 0 Aries. So there's the Aries moment right here. That's why this Neptune, that's why there's a line going across. It's the moon was opposing Neptune. The sun was opposing Neptune. Saturn is at 28. These are 29. You guys, Esther, thank you. I hope you guys aren't embarrassed by this. I had my 22-year-old friend set these up. Dorothea, thank you guys. They set this up and it's bouncing your names in public. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. But I'll talk to him about maybe if you all are embarrassed by that, I'll do whatever. But anyway, thank you. This opposition, this Saturn opposing the sun, this Saturn opposing the moon, this connection here of Saturn and Neptune is one of the most powerful things. We got to talk about it. Okay, so first of all, I want you to have that visual. Okay, the visual was an opposition that Saturn and Neptune together were being opposing this. Now, this picture, now if you're Liz, you had a birthday, this is landing, this sears in your chart. This sears in your chart, okay? Somewhere in your chart, this very picture exists on the outside wheel of your natal chart. You don't have to understand it. Just understand that this energy is with you for like a year. This gets seared in. For the rest of us, this is here also for the next 6 months, but it's what we're doing with it in this moment. This makes it really important. Now, if you look at this triangle is saying a smooth flow of energy. Now look, 29, try to get this in your head. 29 is 0 Libra. It's just seconds away from 0 Libra. And here's 1, like 0 Aquarius, and here's 1 Gemini. So the moon and the sun are in a grand trine. That's only like 1 degree apart. Even though this says Virgo, this says Aquarius, think of it as like that energy of the planets. The signs are sort of like we assign the signs, but the distance is real. It's permanent. This is a grand trine energy. Now, when we had the square, when Pluto and Uranus were square, we had a lot of like crises, okay? They're not square anymore. They're trine, and we're going to talk about that. And I'm bringing myself back on, so don't ignore that picture. It's going to go away for a minute, but I'll be back. Okay, now that energy is okay. I'm going to shut this down. We're going to get us back to where we can actually see something that matters. Okay, and then I'll bring the actual today's chart back in. Now, let's talk a little bit about a Saturn-Neptune conjunction. That means when Saturn and Neptune in the sky are together. We have been talking about this time period to you guys for a very long time. You've heard me, and we cry wolf a lot as astrologers, I think. We say, oh, things are really changing, right? But we've been talking about the change of signs of these outer planets for a long time with you. We've been getting ready for them. I am so grateful to be living during a time when we're watching a sea change and we are actually seeing the effects of it. Now, some of you are going, why are you grateful? Some of you are hating what's happening. Some of you are loving what's happening. I don't care. All the love and all the hate is in you, that you're seeing it through that lens. We're going to talk about what the tone of the change is and how this is a good thing, how this is a grand trine, how this change is so important. Because first of all, Saturn and Neptune together are basically telling us about our dreams, telling us about the solidification, Saturn, of our dreams, our visions, Neptune. They're together, you guys. When you're born with this aspect, if you were born with Saturn and Neptune, and many of you are, you hold the space for emotional compassion, for guilt, for responsibility and duty on a spiritual level. You know this in yourself. If you have this thing in you, and many of you do, like I said, many of you were born with Saturn and Neptune together. John is one. You guys hold an insanely amazing space for what is good, what isn't, what fits in, what doesn't, what makes sense spiritually, what makes sense psychically, what makes sense energetically, what is real, what isn't real. Bringing it together in you, you hold the space. Children like this have this undue sense of responsibility when they're children. They have this sense of like my family and my guilt and my, they're responsible. When the family falls apart, these children of the Saturn Neptune feel responsible for what happens. They hold an enormous amount of guilt because they hold an enormous amount of responsibility. It's kind of like Capricorns who feel since they can, they should. Earth signs have that issue, mostly Virgo, Capricorn. Tauruses have it in a different way, but it is this sort of sense of, I'm able to do it. Capricorn's, it's cardinal. Because Taurus is fixed, it's different. It's not because they're less kind. Capricorn has this sense of doing, and because they should do, they feel like they can do, they feel like they should do. So that's in the space. We knew there was a spiritual redemption, a spiritual coming together on the planet somehow. The question of morality, the question of what's good, what isn't. Like where there was a time there where many of you have written me and saying it feels like what used to be good is now evil, and what was evil is now good, and I don't get it. And okay, all that's part of the mix. Add Pluto into this, the planet of truth, the planet of uncovering the truth, the planet of seeing humanity. Add Uranus to the mix, the planet that disrupts, the ruler of Aquarius. Do you notice that Pluto is in Aquarius? Its ruler is Uranus, which is in Gemini, and they are connecting, which means these things that are changing among us, the foundations that are crumbling, what we thought was bad might be good, what we thought was good might be bad. All that stuff is unveiling itself. And the eclipse is the pinnacle of it. The eclipse comes together, makes that final triangle piece at the point, and pulls it all together. And we're seeing it. And I'm not going to evaluate, like I said, if you don't like what's going on in the world, if you don't like what's going on in the world, and you believe that projection makes perception, that what's being filtered through you is coming out here, then use what you see to evaluate what you're doing. Use what you see, bring it home. Bring it home. Quit trying to convince me that it's bad or good. Quit trying to convince your neighbors that it's bad or good. Quit trying to tell the public that what you see is the righteous, good side of everything. It doesn't matter. What you see is yourself, the reflection of what your judgments are. You're seeing it. Bring it home and use it. This is your growth time. If you're angry, if you're feeling victimized, if you're feeling that the world is turned against you, where do you think that's coming from? Do you think there's an objective reality where the world is turning against you? Or is it that you've held on so tightly to something that you believe that you're going to fall apart if you change how you think? That's on you. And the goal here is to make a life better. The goal here is that we lift ourselves up outside of the world of form, Neptune, and use it to understand our spiritual connection, if you want that. And I'm here to tell you, it's going to be easier to grab a spiritual connection in this upheaval because there's certain things that can be answered that way that might be a shortcut for you. And I don't care if you believe in anything. I don't care. It's not up to me. We individually have a responsibility and a duty to bring some peace, happiness, joy. Remember this sense of duty to who we are, to our life, to the people that we're responsible for. If you choose that it's about fear, if you choose that this is all about ugly thing that's happening to you and you are the victim of a terrible, horrible world, that's okay. You can have that, but that's a choice you're making. That's why I say if you choose to see it that way, there is a choice you have to shift how you perceive things. And most of you, I think, are terrified to make that responsibility, to look at it. Are you happy with what you see? Are you happy with yourself? Is there something that you may be missed along the way? Is there a piece of information that might just be better for you to have? Or is it so important that you keep trying to identify the enemy? Is that more important? If that is, live your life, baby. Get your t-shirt. Get your t-shirt. I need to find my enemies. If that's how you want to do it. Or maybe you subscribe to there's no such thing as an enemy except by perception. What is an enemy? Someone who I perceive to be against me. And so we we continue this division. They're the bad guys, I'm the good guy. Is that what you want? That's fine. That's a choice you make, but make the choice. You're not the victim here. You don't have to be, except by your own choosing and by your own mind. There are victims, I understand that. But our job is empowerment, and using astrology to get empowered, wow. Where's Virgo in your chart? Where's that 0-degree Libra point in your chart? Jennifer, in your case, it's your sun sign. It's who you are as a voice. It's like, what are you speaking to? How are you becoming? This is going to be your thing. This year will be a thing about bringing this Jennifer, who, if there's ever been a part of you that felt that you had to hold back, and I have Saturn on my ascendant. I'm going to be 70, and I'm just now getting it. And I'm getting this much of it. I'm not even getting a lot. I'm getting this much. But I'm loving it. I'm grateful for it. I want to die awake, a little more awake. So this is the push to a new vision. This is the push to a new reality. This is a push to how do we, and it's a trine, you guys. There's so much I have to say about this trine, this Pluto trine Uranus, and it's part of the grand trine of the eclipse. It is such a sea change. And it's important that you use it to bring that change and that awareness to you. And I have so much to talk about the week, what's going on ahead. I'm going to take a look in the room and see how you're doing. But I want you to feel excitement about this eclipse. It is pressing a button of change. And if you are feeling that you're the button and you're being pressed, we can shift it. You might be in circumstances that are just unbearable for you. There's no question that happens in life. But if you have something that's indelible, that's indestructible, if you have a connection to it, if we can find that for you, whether it's your mind or whether it's a belief or whether it's a spirituality, whatever it is, if we can find that for you, that's going to become the most important thing. Let me see how you all are doing. I'm checking in the room. And you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Jennifer, Moon in Aquarius. Oh my gosh, rising Sag, Pisces, North Node. Okay, I got you. I'll be back to talk about that. Thank you for putting that in there. Welcome to Venus. Hey, Fran, thank you. I'm sorry if I did. I know that those things popping up, I didn't know they did that. I'm going to talk to my guy. I promise you guys. If you don't like that during a show, I'll tell you what, let's remember this. If you're going to subscribe, wait till after the show and it won't announce it to the world. I get embarrassed too over that stuff. And it's all that Scorpio. And if I didn't know it was happening, so thank you. I'm sorry. I really am. It wasn't meant to boast or brag. It's a code he put in. And at the time it was a fantasy that I'd ever get to a point where I was going to be invited to have subscribers. So thank you for understanding. Thank you, Liz. That's so sweet. Thank you, Patty. I appreciate that. I know it did. I know you're a sweetheart. I feel you though. More Brits in the house. I know. Thank you so much for that. Okay, you guys sound like you're doing good. So listen. Since we know there's a sea change, since we know that the planet is sort of erupting, it's burping, you can see it all over the world. It's really important, I think, that we get ourselves in tip-top shape, okay, mentally. Let's get ourselves in mentally good shape. And one of the ways we do that is we start with the sense, like, use your astrology chart, right? So we use our chart. That's our map of who we are. That's okay, let me bring it on. So that's right. I'll do let's see. I hope this is set up right. Let's see. Did I set it up right? No, that's like outside. It's a fall day. There we go. All right. So I'll make this bigger for us. This wheel, this is you when you took your first breath, and all these planets are sort of like the tools you have access to. Because wherever the eclipse landed, and in this chart, the eclipse would have been up here at the top of the chart. There's Virgo. It would have been right where the sun is right now because that's where the eclipse is. I love this, is going into Libra, 0, 0. So your chart is the way you're looking at the lens of the world. You have all these planets that are filtering information in, and you're putting them back out through the filter. So if you have an Aquarius moon, for example, the way how your needs get met is you need to feel that you're not necessarily a part of a normal system, that there's a certain kind of the need inside of you to be rebellious, to go against what the majority thinks, to carry your own drum, to feel a sense of that your feelings are very valid, because they are, but usually Aquarians are filled with a lot of shoulds and should I have, and they overthink everything. That moon is kind of on overdrive, that kind of energy, and where you see the bigger picture and you want to do what's right and you want to do what's righteous, right? Because Prometheus wanted to bring fire to the gods and got tortured for it. And Aquarius moons want to do that too. They want to be on the right side of things. So much so that they will develop a picture of themselves and bring information in. And this is the epitome this is a big insight I had. And I'm going to use the Aquarius moon example to tell you about my epiphany. I had an epiphany that the reason I watch a lot of debating online, I watch a lot of people, it's kind of like how we do it these days. You get panels and they argue, and it's good for the ratings when they disagree. Have you ever seen a debate, whether it was religion or whether it was politics or whether it was some social issue, where the other person goes, "Oh my God, you're right. I get it"? You don't. And the reason you don't is because it isn't the facts that matter once your decision is made. It's the confirmation of your decision that matters. And that's what I think we do times a gazillion. So in other words, that fantasy we have, like, did they feel remorse? Did they really look at did they really say that and then they were confronted and we look for the confrontation moment? It never happens. And the reason it never happens is because it doesn't go in that order. We don't collect the facts and make a decision typically. We make a decision and we collect the facts very specifically based on what our decision is. And that's okay, because that's how we survive. But doing that and remembering that that's happening will save you hours of debate time, hours of needing to prove, lifetimes of needing to prove your point. So people tell you who they are, really, by the decision that they've landed on, and that decision isn't going to change. Rarely does it change. Yes, it can change. People can finally go, this is so not working for me, that they blow it up. Now, this time period has been noted as a dark night of the soul. And the reason it's called the dark night of the soul is because when you feel that things have gotten so bad they can't get worse, there's usually a redemption. There's always a redemption. And if you call this the dark night of the soul time period, like, gosh, things have gotten so bad, then what we have to look forward to with the grand trine message that's coming, that's here, is redemption, that there is going to be a revelation. Like, there will be an opening, there will be light. Dark night of the soul reveals itself to light. And I'm not talking religious here. I'm talking a sense of openness, a sense of receiving, a sense of like, oh my God, I get it. If you can let in the idea that how you've put together your world, it wasn't put together necessarily by facts. Maybe in the original moment it was. It was put together by survival and facts that you put together in your head, not necessarily proving them, right? Ones that got you alive in the family, ones that allowed the family to keep you, ones that allowed people to be friends with you. And eventually we put all that together and we're like, okay, I have a picture of the world. And now everything I see, if it doesn't fit in that, and this is very Aquarius moon, by the way, and a lot of Aquarius moons can see this in themselves. I don't want you to feel that I'm picking on this quality, but it is a very strong quality of Aquarius moon. You have a picture and things need to fit into that picture. And if they don't, they kind of don't exist. And you look at your own life to see if you know what I mean. And in this time period here with Pluto in Aquarius, that's getting cracked open. New information is being allowed in. That's the exciting part in such a big way. Information, think about it. The ruler of Aquarius is Uranus. Uranus is in Gemini, information. Pluto's in Aquarius. Pluto is the laser light that sort of pierces through anything. That cracks open the light. That's what's going to be powerful about this cycle. A big, like the moon, all Aquarians everywhere, Aquarius moon, Aquarius sun, Aquarius risings, within the next 10 years are going to have Pluto mostly crossing something in them, which means that opening, you become more Scorpio-like. You come in a little bit. You kind of, quit looking at the bigger picture and you look at the individual picture. It's a very powerful shift. But if you can accept the fact, if you kind of just let it boil a little bit, that your beliefs are not put together by facts. Your beliefs were put together by survival, and they are reinforced by facts that you selectively pick. It's called confirmation bias. I'm a big fan of understanding that. It means you suddenly your psyche starts seeing things that you believe. You decided you're going to buy the new car, and that's the only thing you see now. Everyone has that car. Well, they didn't all just run out and buy it because you decided to. You're just noticing it. When you decide you believe in something, that belief starts getting reinforced in our psyches. It's very powerful. The way the psyche works is so important to understand. And I'm just giving you a tidbit. If you take the idea that what you believe is being reinforced by your subconscious mind, that maybe there's another thing to believe, but you're not seeing it, it might change everything. And it has a lot to do with your observer. So if you're hating the world right now, if you're just terrified of the world, you don't like where it's going, what if my little voice got in your head and it said, maybe you're supposed to be feeling afraid because you believe the world's full of crap. And so this is it. This is my confirmation. It's going to die. It's going to explode. It's going to be awful. There's going to be bloodshed. It's going to be in the street. You can see that. And people will be like, well, there is bloodshed. Yeah, that's right. Because that's where your attention went. There's also birth. There's also saving. There's also lovely things happening. There's also amazing things happening. But if you believe that this is a time of death and destruction, that's what you see. And you have proof. And you bring your proof. And you have more proof. And then you hear about another murder and you have more proof. And then you hear about a wedding and you ignore that. And you hear about another murder. You were kind of like living the news. Remember, if it bleeds, it leads. That's kind of how we've lived our lives. So I'm suggesting there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just suggesting, what if this voice pops up in your head and goes, okay, maybe there's more I need to see. Maybe there is something else I'm not seeing. Just that question. Okay? Maybe there's evidence of love here. Maybe there's evidence of kindness. Maybe there's evidence of salvation. Maybe there's evidence of good people. Now, when I did my midlife crisis move and went to Schwab and got trained, my first corporate job ever in my life, I was like miserably happy. Meaning I made everybody sick. I was so happy. I really was. I'd go to work. I'd be like, oh my God, they have restaurants in the building. They pay for it. Like, oh my God, it was so amazing. It was so amazing. I was like a kid in the candy store, but that is my nature. Remember, I'm the one that when we went to buy houses, because I lived in one room at the store. And when it was time we were allowed to go look at houses, I fell in love with every house. The realtor, God rest her soul, she died. She was hilarious, little cancer. We walked in and I went, you got to get me a contract on this house. And John would walk behind me and tap her on the shoulder and say, you don't. Give it 20 minutes. It's okay. And in 20 minutes, I went, wait a minute. My butt can't even fit up them stairs. What am I doing? The stairs are so narrow. How? Like, I'd go to the next house and in love. I mean, you're letting me out, right? So there is a thing where you start like, you've been locked away for so long, you open up and then it's like you see all this stuff and you're like a kid in a candy store, right? So keep that in mind as we do this. Jennifer says, I'm believing things are shifting to the positive. New earth is coming in. There is crap out there, but I'm not welcoming that in. Yeah, that's exactly right. You can see it. You don't have to welcome it in. Make sure you see it. Like, okay, no, I don't want that. I want this. And you're choosing it. And then you are consciously choosing to receive that in your reality, in your world. And you're also maybe consciously being able to say, what I view as crap might not even be crap. Like we'll even take a look at that later. But for now, no, you don't get to come in. And that's your choice. And that's wonderful. And that's what the good observer in us does. It looks with as much as possible without judgment and goes, this feels really good. And this does, and this over here doesn't. So part of opening up and receiving a new idea and a new reality is sort of like remembering that you've been locked into one for so long that like maybe opening up is just, it's a little too much. So do it slow. Be kind to yourself as you go through some of this process. You're all doing it. You don't kind of get a choice, okay? I'm just sort of helping get you flexible. We're doing the yoga stretching before we do the yoga to get you in a place where this in your psyche, in your chart, this Uranus and Pluto thing, this trine right here, this is Pluto, this is Uranus, they're in your chart somewhere as a trine, opening you up, giving you an opportunity for new ideas and new awareness. And the eclipse up here is the final leg of it that brings it into like, wow, if you put your mind to this and you let yourself have a new experience, if you let yourself have a new way of looking at things, if you start believing that maybe you are always safe and that you are actually watching this in a new way, you might let this information in a way that's easy, a grand trine that flows, it's beautiful, that's loving. And it's not the big, and if you're feeling that on the inside of you, like, okay, I'm starting to see that this may not be so bad. Like I'm feeling connected. I'm feeling like I can hear, I can talk to a higher self in myself. I can feel the grounded, the love. If I had a child, I wouldn't be scaring that child with what's going on. I'd be holding that child, all that energy. You might then look through that lens at the world out here and see that there's a loving shift happening. And for some of you, that seems ridiculous. And for others of you, it's a breakthrough. And it doesn't matter. The goal is for you, for all of us, that we can have some peace as we walk through this life. What else is there going to be? Personally, I think it's destructive to think there's a big scorecard on the other side. Okay, I just think that's destructive for us because then we start doing things based on pleasing some objective figure that's out here instead of feeling it on the inside and being guided. Because I think that's available to us if you want it. But how you do you. I don't want you to feel judged. Yeah, absolutely. Liz, thank you. That's very sweet. So you guys, as we go through this, let's go through piece by piece and see those are the big planets. That's the zeitgeist. That's what's happening in the larger sense of our psyche. Remember, your psyche is pushing to heal. Your psyche is pushing to, it's being compelled to reclaim the projections that have been placed out here, reclaim them so that you can give them light and heal them. Imagine that every person you see that you think is bad, is just another little ugly judgment inside of that you had on yourself that you finally get to heal, that you finally get to let go of. Who cares? And if we walk around believing that your decisions have already been made, which is why if you enter a debate, what are you doing? Who are you really convincing? Think about it. If we have already arrived at our conclusions, what information could I possibly offer you that's going to shift anything? The only thing I have is because I'm an astrologer and you all might be here because you believe astrology does offer us a map that does change. But your core beliefs, that's on you. Nothing I say, nothing anybody says is going to shift what you've already put together in your head. It has to come from inside of you. That's why all this evidence stuff, people go, look at this evidence in a debate. They bring the evidence, they bring the receipts. Doesn't get in. Okay, that's nice, but, right? We defend it. And if you can't shake it, and I'm telling you, when you have an Aquarius moon and you have any fixed moon whatsoever, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, this stuff is hard to change because you are so sure you're right. You are so sure that you are the person in charge of what is bad and what is good. I am one of them. I have a Scorpio moon. I know that. I'm doing everything I can to stay aware of that so that I can allow something else in. That's all. I'm just trying to be aware. Now, let's take another bigger picture at the more personal planets because there's more going on. Check this out. Let me introduce you to Mars. Yep, that's Mars. Look, 0. Mars. I'm sorry. It cracks me up. I'm cracking myself up because I did that when I saw, wait a minute, Mars went into Scorpio. It helped me understand so much about what I was going through personally. But it's in Scorpio now. It's not going to budge. It is one of the most decisive and committed places Mars can be. Now it's at 0. And I'm like, all of us Scorpios get to have that. Anybody with a fixed sign has that, fighting with them. So if you have anything, but here's what I'm trying to get at. We talked about that beautiful grand trine. This Mars at 0 in a fixed sign, this is Pluto at basically 0 in a fixed sign. Mars and Pluto are basically fighting. And Mars and Pluto are probably the meanest planets you could have fighting. So those of you that are feeling it as a scary time period, and I made you feel guilty for that, I didn't, but I can't make you feel anything. Remember that. But it sounded like I was judging you, This is what's happening. This is why it seems scary. Because this looks like violence. This looks like anger. This looks like, I'm so right, I will kill you, right? It's like, this is like that energy. But this is also something else. This energy, this Mars-Pluto energy, is also a brilliant opportunity for breakthrough beyond your wildest dreams. That's why I'm talking about shifting our beliefs. And it's not picking a belief and shifting to it. It's knowing you've already put your beliefs together and nothing else can get in. So you're not letting anything new in. This is the time where that can change. And because Pluto is connected to a trine, to a beautiful flow of energy, that Mars is mitigated. That Mars is settled down. It's nice. It activates the energy, that energy of flow. So you got this flowing energy of air, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, and Mars hits it like an arrow bouncing into the rubber band. Boom. It sends a reverberation and the grand trine takes it and just moves it. And that energy of the grand trine is information. It's wisdom. You know, the air signs, you have insane wisdom. And I'm using the word insane as a compliment. It's great wisdom. The problem is when it's dissociated from your belly, from your passion, when it's just wisdom, it's nice and cool and everything's great, but then bring it in to like your heart and it starts looking different. You feel different. You might feel weak. You might feel judgy. You might feel like, oh, I'm being swayed. You want that. You want to add color to it. So what you do, you get your wisdom. And then, okay, now you come and play in Mars. You look at what your passions are, what your judgments have been, who you're angry at, what's really going on. And then you stop, get out of that, come back and be. That's what a square is. Do one, then the other. Do your Mars, go do your passion, roll up your sleeves, talk crap. You know, the thing about, we have rules about our language. We talk to, the big thing with me is like, one of the ways we've been controlled is we're not allowed to say certain words. I mean, TikTok bans you if you say, apparently, you have to say unalived. Right? You can't say the word died or however they use it. It's a trigger word for the algorithm. And it's embarrassing in a way because they're just going to change the word but mean the same thing. And adults are doing it. And it's sad. But that's what we've become. We've lost the intent. We've lost the heart. We call it freedom of speech, but these places are like absolutely making sure we change our words around and introducing words that maybe I don't want to use. So this is part of the fight, and this is part of like the wisdom that gets to come in, and that's the cycle for us. I don't know the conclusion, but I do know we could have a lot of fun with it, and we could be. Awareness is just so amazing. I'm far from aware, but I'm saying when I hit those moments where I'm like, oh, I'm not triggered by that anymore. I just told John, I said, I am not triggered in the same way I used to be about certain things, and it's been amazing. It just happened. So I don't know, like I'm not like waving a white flag and saying I've changed. I don't know, but I'm not triggered. I can hear something I used to not be able to hear. That's progress for me. What's your progress? Let me check on you guys, see how you're doing. We got a week to talk about still. Woo, time goes too fast. Please hold planet burping. Oh my God. I saw that visual so clear. Thank you. That's got to be a t-shirt. Please hold planet burping. Oh, that's so funny. Thank you, Gwen. That's so sweet. Okay. Thanks, Kelly. Kelly Whetstone's in the house. My gosh, what an honor. I am. You all know Kelly from the Power Peak, right? Oh my gosh. And from her show Empowerment tomorrow, she'll be on. Hi, Kelly. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Good morning. Just got on. Yay. I love your show. Mindy. Hi, Mindy. Thank you. You're so sweet. Quelly's in the house. You made it, Quelly. And Denise, for me, receiving the new perspective is welcoming. Letting go of old beliefs can be sticky. Growth and change are inspired. Yeah, Denise, that is so sweet. I love it. Thank you, friend. I wrote that t-shirt company because you all like my t-shirts. You're so sweet. And said, would you all consider like letting me have some? And like, I'll get a coupon code for people who might want to buy them. They didn't answer. It's okay. But they're cheap. It's T-Publix, T-E-E Publix, I think. It's like $16 or something. But anyway, I digress. Thank you, Lori. I'm so glad. Thank you for laughing out loud. I'm glad you all get the humor because it really, I get a little nervous sometimes because I'm breaking in new ground. Denise, you said it. Receiving new perspectives is welcoming. It can be. It can also be very threatening. Especially in politics, I remember like sometimes in our political hotbed, if you don't completely agree, then you are might be seen as completely outside the fray of like where people want you. And I've changed that for me. I don't know that everybody in my life has changed it, but I love it. I love, like I told John, I can listen to everybody now. I really can. And I can call a dumbass now. I don't know. I don't know. Am I fooling myself? I don't know. I don't like to get too high on my own supply around it. But I did say I can vividly remember my hostility toward certain people, and I visibly remember it gone. It's fun because I'm not doing that to my body anymore. Let's go over the week. Today at 11:19 Mountain Daylight Time, we have the perfect moment of the sun entering the sign of Libra. Happy birthday to all you Libras. Leaving Virgo. Happy birthday if I missed your birthday, Virgos. I hope you had a great time. It's the equinox. You can't balance an egg on the equinox any more than you can any other time of the year. That's a big fallacy that I learned, and I love it because the woman who owns Nest Fresh was one of our people. I love Sid. If you're listening, I miss you and I wish you well. And then we have Libra all week, the Libra moon. Listen, it's basically quiet. We get to adjust all week long. You know, the power peak is over at markhusson.com. The password is lowercase FALL. And just to recap, the membership thing here is that you hit the join button under my video and it's about $2.99. And what I'm going to do is lower prices on all the reports. I'm working my butt off over here, but I'll be doing videos to share with you guys, and we'll get our club together because we get our own special newsletter, things that I post. Everyone can see, but only you can watch. You can unsubscribe anytime you want, and I'll never know, which is good because I don't want to know. I don't want to know either way. That's why when that popped up, I was like, whatever. But I want you to know something. You mean the world to me. Being able to come here and think that it makes me on some level feel relevant, which sometimes I don't ever feel that. And that's really sweet because you all are really relevant to me. I'm going to give you Kat's address because she's coming up here soon, and I'll post that in the room so we can find out. Hey, give me 1 second here. We'll go. And here she is. Here she is. Here she is. Here she is. Okay. And I'll push this in the room, and then I'll continue to give you guys links to our rooms so that you can do your lovely support the way you do support. You guys are just gorgeous. Listen, if I miss some kindness that you did, it's only because I'm new to this. I'm gonna say I was an idiot, but you guys jump to my defense when I do that. I get ADHD, and so I won't notice, but I will later. So if I don't shout you out for your kindness, I will eventually get it, and I do appreciate you. Let me check and see how y'all are doing, and we'll sign out. Thank you, Carla. That's very sweet. Thank you, Jennifer. Good morning from New Zealand. We have somebody from New Zealand too. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Linda. That's so sweet. I'm so grateful that you listen from New Zealand. Is Kiwi an insult that we call you when people say it's a Kiwi? Are you guys called Kiwis? You just got to let me know. I want to never be insultful, but when I see New Zealand, I think a Kiwi because I watched a comedy show where that's what they were calling each other. So if that's an insult or derogatory, I really am sorry. I'm asking from the bottom of my heart. Eileen, thank you. Aileen, thank you so much. You guys, this week I'll be sharing with the members particularly because and on my minute every day I do the 3-minute videos or roughly 3 minutes. as things emerge and as I learn things and as we find things out, I'll be pumping them into the membership room. And I'll figure out how we do our newsletter there too, because you'll be getting a newsletter, but I won't bombard you. I promise. You won't be getting dinged in your emails. I'll keep it to a minimum of once a day, but I'll be learning. So if I need to tone something down or something, I hope you guys will let me know. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Please enjoy the autumn season. We're in autumn now. It is time for all that. I love this season. Many of you do. I understand. So I'm grateful for it. I'm looking forward to spending more time with you with warmth and the love that you so easily share with me. All right. Thank you so very much. I put Kat's link in there. You guys are the best of the best. Thank you. All right. I'll see if I can get our outro music going and we'll hit it. Thank you. Probably took it off. Okay, bye, you guys. Thank you.